So how exactly do you go out there and buy luxury watches and then turn around and flip them and make some money, but also most importantly actually enjoy them? Well, in this video my plan is to actually give you guys a whole system on how to go out there, where to buy the watches, where to sell them, exactly what price to buy them for, and most importantly guys here, this system allows you not to just make money from buying watches and selling them, but to also enjoy the watches. So in reality you might have an Omega, a Rolex, a Richard Miller, and you might have this watch for 12 months or so and then turn around and then flip it and either break even if you want to, or basically make a profit, but you still used it for 12 months, you enjoyed it and you had fun with it, but most importantly you also made money from it. And to me, that's the best way to do it when it comes to buying things that usually are liabilities. Now, if you guys don't know me, my name is TommyBryson. I'm an accountant and I also upload videos on YouTube every single day. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get notified, and also do me a favor and also destroy the like button. And now here's a question for you guys, okay? If you guys like watches and now you're trying to figure out exactly how to make money from them, well, you're in the right video. But most importantly, what was your first watch that you ever bought? And if you ask me guys, my first watch was actually a G-Shock. And for everyone saying out there, tell me, why would I make a business around something that's so obsolete, in a sense, a watch? Because now we have Apple watches that tell the time, you have your phone, it tells the time, Samsung tells the time, everything out there tells the time, so why go out there and buy something for $10,000, $20,000, and sometimes even $1.2 million? For example, guys, I saw this picture online in this website that says basically, hey, if you buy this watch right here, it's a Richard Miller, however, it only costs around $1.2 million, but we will give you a discount gift card for $20. Immediately, I went ahead and bought it, of course, for the great deal. I'm kidding, okay? It's crazy money. But the main thing is this, guys, okay? Why would someone go out there and spend money on this, and how do they justify it? The same way, okay, the same way you can justify buying an iPhone, an Apple iPhone, and not buying, for example, a Galaxy, or for example, a lower version of the last phones that were actually had available. Because, for example, you could have an iPhone, or you can just still use a Nokia from 2006 and still make calls and also text your friends. So the main thing is, it depends on the person and what they're actually interested in. So the market exists, we understand it. Is it important? Is it an asset? The answer is no, but it's still relevant. So why not profit from it instead of trying to judge it? For example, guys, okay, you could either be driving a Lexus or, for example, a Lamborghini. But usually you don't really want to get a Toyota from 1992, even though it gets you from point A to point B. You want something more fancy, and that's fine. And the main thing is, guys, that there's a market, it exists, and you want to take advantage of it, and that's why I created this video right here. Now, the basic idea is very, very simple. The idea is we want to take luxury watches, pre-owned ones, and then create a market of your own for it. For example, a watch usually it's kind of like a car, okay? So when you buy it the first year, it's a new watch, oh my gosh, it's incredible, and the MSRP might be, for example, $10,000. However, 1 to 2 years later, now that watch is worth maybe $5,000 or $4,000 because again, it's been a while. However, after that time is over, usually these watches actually start to appreciate in price because again, now the difference is that that watch is 2 years old. Well, there's less watches out there. It becomes more rare and more demand because now the newer watches are more expensive. So now you create a market right here. People actually want this watch for a decent price. So what we want to do here is basically go into this market, the pre-owned market, and buy a watch that used to be, for example, $10,000 for $4,000, $3,000, and then turn around and sell it to the average consumer that's looking for it for around $5,000, $6,000, and then make a massive profit. By the way, you can make between $500 to $1,500 every single time you sell a watch. And if you ask me, 10 watches every single month might be, for example, $5,000. And if you ask me, that's decent income, part-time income, and it doesn't hurt you that bad. On top of that, you get to go around with a Rolex or a Richard Miller or whatever watch you actually want and whatever market you can actually get into. But again, you do require a small amount of capital to get into it, at least between $1,000 to $3,000 to get into this game, and that way you can buy watches here and there. And now the first thing I want to break down is basically, well, Tommy, what brands do I buy? How do I buy them? How do I sell them? And for what price do I buy them or sell them? The answer is, guys, I want to define exactly what a watch is versus what a timepiece is, okay? For example, a watch might be, for example, an Apple Watch, a Gucci watch, or even not really a Rolex, but sometimes depending on the brand of the model, but usually a watch is basically something that is kind of like lower quality or retail place, and what you're actually buying is usually the brand and not actually the ingenuity behind the watch and the internal parts. So for example, you might buy, for example, a Gucci watch or Louis Vuitton watch for maybe like $500 to $1,000, and you might say, Tommy, this is a great deal, it's awesome, it's amazing, but in reality, it only costs them between $15 to $30 to make the watch. So you're actually buying garbage in a sense, okay? But whenever you actually buy a timepiece, you're actually buying something that might have taken at least like 6 to 9 months to create, and on top of that, everything that went into this watch is complete quality, and people that actually are collectors and are interested in it, well, they're willing to pay you a decent price for it. Although people that actually buy retail watches might say like, hey, it's older, it's Gucci, but I'm not gonna offer you that much. So the difference is basically the market and how it actually works and how it interacts with each other. But quality versus name is a very different thing when it comes to a watch versus a timepiece. By the way, timepieces cost between $5,000, $10,000, $1.2 million. However, you do get a gift card, so it might be a good deal. That's the difference here, okay, guys? Quality over just a name brand. That's the main difference. Now, I don't want you guys to actually get overwhelmed by $10,000, $20,000, $1.2 million for a watch. The answer is you don't have to worry about this, because what we're doing is we're buying pre-owned watches, well, timepieces, for a budget price or usually a bargain price, okay? And when you buy it, you might buy it for $1,000, $1,500, but the point is buy for a low price. And by the way, please do me this favor here. Make sure when you start this business, if you do, start small and then work yourself up, because again, if you start way too big and be like, okay, I'm gonna buy this $1.2 million watch, and it doesn't go well for you, well, now you just lost $1.2 million and you have to sell it, and you might not even get most of your money back, okay? So the point is, start small, get to the market, get the knowledge, get everything you need, and then slowly but surely start expanding step by step like any other business out there. But by the way, right now, you're not starting from zero, you're starting basically from like 50 or 60, because again, I'm going to tell you guys everything how to do it, and the next step that's going to be left is basically just to go out there and take action. So when it comes to, Tommy, what brands of watches or timepieces do I actually invest my money into to then go out there and flip it? Well, you have Audemars, you have Rolexes, and you also have Omegas, but most importantly, you want to focus on basically the model types of those watches. You want to focus on watches that usually depreciate when they come out, but most of the time they stop depreciating, but they're very popular, and people that want to invest money into a watch are more likely to buy them. So not too high in price, but kind of like on the middle end, so people out there are actually more willing to actually buy your products. For example, for the Rolexes, you want to focus on the Rolex Submarine, either blue or black. And for the Audemars, you want to focus on the Audemars Baguette with the rubber glad, okay? That's the main thing. When it comes to Omega, you might want to focus on the Planet Ocean ones. Now, I also included a few more examples and links down below in the description, so if you want to check that out, go ahead. But the main point is, guys, you want to focus on timepieces that people actually want to buy. They're not too expensive, but they're still in high demand, but also have a very low volume, so it's kind of like rare, and they appreciate in value and not depreciate any longer. Again, don't go for anything brand new or that came out last year. Go a little bit older, and that way you get the best price out there in the market, but you also get to sell it for a very higher price than you actually bought it for. That's the main thing here. Now, you're probably wondering, but Tommy, how do I go about buying these watches? Now, before I give you guys the sources and where to buy them and every single website out there, the answer is, how do you buy it? Very simple, okay, guys? You want to focus on a niche. Now, your niche is going to be 1 to 2 watches when you start out, okay? So you don't want to go out there and be like, okay, I want to focus on all the timepieces out there, all the brands. No, you can't become an expert like that, to be honest. You become like a jack of all trades and you really won't know anything. So you want to focus on 2 brands, for example, Omega, Rolex, Audemars, but don't really go beyond 3 brands until you focus on 3 of those, okay, and learn everything about them, and then become an expert at selling those, okay? Usually, you want the most popular ones, because usually those are the ones that sell the most, to be honest, okay? The second thing is this, guys. You also need, when it comes to buying, you need something called a cash reserve. So you do need money on the side just in case a deal pops up out there that is a very good deal and you don't have to be like, okay, I don't have any cash, what do I do here? Okay, do I sell everything? The answer is no. Always have money on the side. That way, if anything pops up, you have enough money to actually go out there and execute on the deal. Now that you know exactly what to buy and how to buy it, let's talk about exactly where do you actually go out there to actually find these timepieces, because again, the websites and the resources are actually hidden from people, because most people don't actually know about these websites because they're kind of hidden to the consumer market, and it's only kind of like for the underground section of people that actually buy watches and then resell them for a very large profit. And now the first website is called watchdealseeker.com. By the way, all the links are down in the description down below, so make sure you guys actually find everything without having to play the video back over and over again. Now, watchdealseeker.com basically finds every single listing out there for a watch and brings them all to you at the same time, and that way you don't have to explore the entire internet, but it gives you everything on one website and is the best one to actually use. Okay, now how exactly do I use it? The answer is, well, just search up whatever you want, okay? Now, every now and then you have to play around with the keywords because sometimes they don't actually add up. Now, a really important part here, guys, okay, a very important part here is that whenever you're searching for a watch, you want to make sure you click on, for example, on the days that's been posted, and make sure you click on the latest date as possible. So it goes right now from 1 to 28 days. So look up those dates all the way to 28 days. Tell me, why would I search up a listing that's so old? That way you know that person's selling for a while, and they're more vulnerable when it comes to negotiation tactics, okay? Because if you just posted yesterday, they're like, oh no, I'm waiting for a longer period of time until I find a better deal. I'm not gonna take your offer. So you wanna go a little bit further in the line, maybe 28 days, 20 days, and that way that person knows like, hey, it hasn't been selling for a while. Maybe Tommy will give me a better deal. And that's a concept when it comes to making sure the listings are a little bit older and not just so fresh, although hit them up still, but you also want to make sure you actually hit the people up, by the way, they just have an older date on their listing. And we also can't forget about eBay and also Craigslist when it comes to buying, because again, these are great ways to actually buy also, but not as great as the forums out there, to be honest. And now, okay guys, one tip here is that whenever you're actually going out there to buy something, you want to make sure you look at that person's listing, their account, and make sure they have a great rating to avoid getting scammed, okay? Because they might take all your money and you're like, you know, what happened here? The answer is you got scammed. So make sure you check the ratings, check the feedback, check everything on the account to make sure they're official and everything is good to go. So things to look for is basically how much do they post, okay? What is their rating? Do they have feedback? Do they have references? These are all key things to actually make sure who you're buying for is actually a good person and not someone that is just trying to scam you. And now number 4 is basically, well, Tommy, what price do I actually pay for the watches I want to buy? The answer is you want to look for watches that range between 30 to 50 cents on the dollar of the original price. So for example, if it originally cost around $10,000, you want to pay between $3,000 to $5,000, and that way you get a very good deal to actually sell out there. By the way though, okay, just to confirm here, if you're going to buy a watch, not a timepiece, so for example, if you want to buy a Louis Vuitton watch, a Gucci watch, a Fossil watch, or anything like this, usually you want to pay between 20 cents on the dollar to 22 cents on the dollar, because again, these watches are very hard to get rid of because again, they're not really timepieces, no quality here. And on top of that, they kind of lose a lot of value after that first year. So buy like 20 cents on the dollar. So if it costs $1,000, only pay $200 for it, $300 max. But sometimes, guys, okay, again, use intuition, use common sense. If it's actually going for $4,000, you can actually buy it for that price or a little bit lower, because again, it's about the market. So the main thing here is that just to look for a profit every time you buy it and a big enough cushion just in case you have to hold it for a lot longer. Now, tell me, how do I negotiate all the way down there? Because you can't do that, okay? The price is way too low. People won't like sell to me. The answer is they will, because you're buying pre-owned watches and you're going to learn how to negotiate, okay? Now the main thing is this, guys. When it comes to negotiation, you want to focus on a few factors here. For example, does the watch have any scratches? Is the band a little old? On top of that, does it have any wear and tear? And also, does it have the box and the papers and serial numbers? And does it have everything it actually came with? If it doesn't, well, now you can shoot for a bigger discount price. And on top of that, always look for people that actually post things on Craigslist, because if they'll post on Craigslist, usually they don't really know about watches and they're more vulnerable to actually giving you a better price for you when it comes to that watch. So always make sure you look for all these factors here, and if they don't have it, if they have like for example a scratch here or something there, by the way, no big deal, you can always get it fixed. But the point is, those are all little factors to make sure you try to get a better deal when it comes to buying that watch and negotiating it down from the price that seller might be selling it to you for. By the way, if you need the box or any papers and stuff like that, usually you can find them on eBay for a cheap price. But again, these, like the original ones, they go for a lot of money. So if the band is ruined, that can range in between $700. Because again, you are talking about timepieces. So all this stuff, a scratch here and this there, and the serial number being wiped out, all this stuff makes for a big problem when you want to sell your timepiece. Okay, so make sure everything is in order and everything is almost at pristine condition. And if it's not, well, go for a massive discount and then sell it for a very good price. And that way you always make your profit. And now when it comes to selling this timepiece that you bought and actually going out there and trying to get a profit, list it literally everywhere and just try to get the best profit on it by making sure you include a very detailed description, but most importantly, great pictures of your watch, including every single fault, every single thing that makes it so great. Just make sure you have great pictures, because again, pictures are king when it comes to buying something that someone can't really hold physically, because again, you are selling it online. For example, eBay, Craigslist, all those forums I gave you, well, use those also. And again, all the links are down below. Now, if you want to sell, there are 3 ways to do it. You can either sell to a consumer, a broker, or for example, a jeweler. Tommy, which one is better? The answer is consumers are always better, because again, consumers usually will pay a higher margin because they're always in it for emotion and not for, hey, I want to resell it, make a bigger profit. Or for example, a jeweler, I'm a business, I need to make a profit. The answer is you always want to go with number 1, a consumer, because usually they'll give you the most profit. And now lastly, guys, I want to be very transparent and tell you this, okay? Although you can do this by yourself, I don't really recommend it. And here's why. You actually need a network to make sure everything works out for you. Now, you can do it by yourself in the beginning, but eventually you will need these people to actually save you a lot of money. Now, here's a network, the checklist of people you actually need to get started the right way. And now the first person you'll need in your team is a banker to either get you money, get you credit basically, or for example, every time you get a wire transfer, sending one out, you want to make sure that banker confirms that bank account to make sure it's legit, it's been open for a while, although they can't give you details and that's fine, but you want to make sure it's real, and that way you don't actually get scammed whenever you receive a wire transfer or anything like that. By the way, you also need number 2, a jeweler. A jeweler will help you because again, they do have a store and they can help you put your products in there and sell it for a higher price usually, although they might try to charge you a little commission for selling your entire watch or whatever you're actually selling. Number 3 is you actually need a local watch broker. These are people that have a connection with everyone out there in the market that's actually buying, and that way that actually gets you to sell it a lot faster. But Tommy, I want to sell it myself because again, I want to sell to a consumer. The answer is yes, but sometimes you'll buy something called a dud, something that's very hard to sell, and you might want to go to a broker to help you actually sell that watch a lot faster. Number 4 is you actually want a watch repair expert. By the way, these watches are very expensive. They're called timepieces. So if you sell them back to the manufacturer, they might try to charge you between $500 to $1,000 just to fix it and inspect it. But if you have your own expert to fix it, they might charge you a lot less, especially if you build up a relationship with them. Number 5 and lastly, you need someone to help you with the straps of the watch, like the bands and stuff like that, okay? Because again, if you have a lot of wear and tear and you want to replace them, if you get the original, it might cost you around $700 to $800 to replace it. So again, this stuff is very expensive. So you want to make sure that you have all these people in your network to make sure you're okay and ready to go when it comes to this business. And by the way, a last tip to give you guys, if you made it all the way to the end of the video, is basically, you know, whenever you're actually selling something, you want to make sure you do this entire rule right here. If you're actually selling something and it's not cash or a wire transfer, it's PayPal or a credit card, a money order, Western Union, you always want to make sure you don't ship until you wait at least between 5 to 10 days to make sure the payment method is actually confirmed and not actually fraudulent. When you're talking about $5,000, $10K, $20K, $30K, $1.2 million, there are a lot of frauds going out there. So never ship your products until the payment is confirmed, and you have to wait between 5 to 10 days to then ship the item out, sometimes if it's not cash or a trusted payment method. So always be patient and don't try to ship the next day until everything is confirmed. But guys, that's basically it. Comment down below and let me know you're gonna try this, and if you could get any watch now, because now you can by buying for a low price and then selling for a higher price. Comment down below and let me know, are you going to try to get your dream watch? Okay, by the way, again, don't buy new, always buy pre-owned, and always buy between 30 to 50 cents on the dollar, and that way you always get a very good profit margin when you do decide to sell within 12 months. Okay, now guys, as always, if you guys enjoy this video, like this video, I really appreciate it, and also subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get notified. And if you want to talk to me one-on-one, uno, just DM me on TommyBryson. And before I go, if you want to watch a full video on how to buy a car for free, not like a car like a Toyota or Honda, a luxury car for free, well, watch this video right here. And on top of that, if you want to start turning around, click my face right here, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.